Hi, and welcome to the Health Begins with Mom show. I am Dorit Palvanov, your host. On this podcast, I will share insights and interviews on health, parenting, and explore the question of what does it take to thrive as women, wives, and mothers. Now, let's get going with today's episode. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Health Begins with Mom podcast. This is Dorit Palvanov, your host. I am actually going to try something new with this podcast. I've been trying to see how to organize the huge amount of information that I want to share with you guys. There's so much that I know that I want to share and that I know that is going to be of value to you. But I was really in reflection mode, thinking about how am I going to share this information in a way that is going to be easy for you to digest and is actually going to be of value to your life and you can actually implement and take into your life and implement. And so what is coming to me is that, so this podcast is almost like I've been pretty random with the interviews and the information, the women's health, and then the mother-daughter kind of thing. And so what I've decided to do is I'm going to work really, really, really hard at sticking at this. I hope it will work. I hope it will work out. But for now, what's coming at me is that I am going to almost like divide the content into 4 different themes. So the first interview of the month will be something along the lines of like my conversation with maybe a guest. Or I was thinking in the future I would do more of like coaching calls with women to just give you an example of like how it feels like to work with me. And then the second kind of theme of the month would be something along the lines of holistic women's health. So I know I get a lot of questions from women about how to eat and how to use food for healing and how to eat in a way that will increase my energy and stop, my exhaustion cycle. So I'm going to talk about that. And then the other theme is going to be, so you guys know that I mostly work with mothers of daughters. And so this relationship, the mother-daughter relationship, it's key in my own personal life because I am a mom of daughters. But I also know that there's a lot of wisdom in this relationship that actually plays out in your life and in your work, in your marriage, in your parenting, and it affects so much of who we are as women. And I know there are a lot of subtleties there, but if we really understand and know the wisdom from this relationship, then I think we can all thrive better and just live better lives. And so one of the themes will be that, and then the last episode of the month will be just reflections from my inner wise mother. You guys know I've been talking about the inner wise mother so many times on the podcast, and it's really it's not something that only I have. Each one of you have access to this inner wise mother, and in other words, it's your intuition, it's your internal compass, it's that it's that being inside of you who is whispering for you to grow or to not to do something or to not do something, to like sign up to the gym or to hire that coach or to try that yoga studio or to buy that amazing pink shirt that you've been looking at for such a long time. And I think I think I want to be able to share more of like what's in my head for you, not because I want to talk about it, although I do, but to give you access to your own inner wise mother, and to really unleash and reclaim the power of that for you, for yourself. Okay, and so today, what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about the piece of the holistic women's health. And there's a question that pops up a lot inside of my Facebook group, and also inside of just working privately with clients. And people ask me, so the women who are doing healthy and eating healthy and exercising and all that for quite some time, they ask this question of, do calories really count? So should I be exercising more, or should I eating more healthy? What is more important? Because some of us hear that eating healthy, it's really 80% of the whole picture, and then exercise is really just 20%. And so is it really smart as women to be killing yourself at the gym, whether it's boot camp or yoga even, or any other types of exercise? Is it really smart to the bigger picture? Like, are we actually helping ourselves to thrive, or are we actually killing ourselves? And so today I want to talk about this topic, and in particular I wanted to bring up the topic of metabolism. So this word metabolism is thrown around a lot these days, especially in my industry, in the health industry. And most women know already from maybe working with a coach or working or reading up a lot about it. That if your metabolism is slow, then the result of it would be gaining weight. But what exactly does this all mean? So technically, metabolism is the word to describe all of the biochemical reactions in your body. It's how you take in nutrients and oxygen and use them to fuel everything that you do. Your body has an incredible ability to grow, not only to grow yourself, but actually to grow human being, right? Because we are women and we are mothers, and we have that amazing ability to create the miracle of life. We have an incredible ability to heal and to generally just stay alive. And without this amazing biochemistry, you would not be possible. Like, your life wouldn't even, you wouldn't be able to exist. And metabolism includes how the cells in your body allow activities that you can control. So things like physical activity and movement. They allow activities that you cannot control. So things like heartbeat, wound healing, processing of nutrients and toxins, liver function, kidney function. So the things that you really can't see. And then it also allows the storage of excess energy for later. So when you put all of these processes together into your metabolism, you can imagine that these processes can work too quickly, too slowly, or just right. Right? It's just really a matter of finding and tuning into your own rhythm. Which brings us to the terminology, to the term metabolic rate. And the metabolic rate is basically how fast your metabolism works, and it's measured in calories. Yep. So these same calories that you see on the boxes of the cereal, the pasta, or any other foods that you're buying. So I'm talking about these specific calories. So the calories that you eat, they can go to one of three places. So they can either go to work, which means to exercise or any other physical activity that you do. They can either go to heat, so from all those biochemical reactions to keep your body temperature stable. And then, or they can also go into storage. So extra leftover, unburned calories, and they would be obviously stored as fat. So as you can imagine, the more calories you burn, as work or creating heat, the easier it is to lose weight and keep it off, because there will be fewer leftover calories to store for later, right? And there are a couple of different ways to measure that metabolic rate. So a lot of people would say, like, how do I measure? What's mine? And one is the resting metabolic rate, which is also known as RMR. And this is basically how much energy your body uses when you're not being physically active. And the other is the total daily energy expenditure, which also stands for TDEE. And that measures both the resting metabolic rate as well as the energy used for work. For example, exercise, right? So when the body is actually doing something active. And that would be throughout a 24-hour period. So you have two different kinds of metabolic rates. And now let's talk about what affects your metabolic rate. So, oh my gosh, the answer to this is really a lot. Like, in a nutshell, really a lot. The first thing that you may think of is your thyroid. For women especially, this gland is so crucial for the way we move through the day, the way we feel in our days, the way, the energy that we generate, that sense of aliveness and the vibrancy that we feel and generate in our body. And so the thyroid gland is super, super important, especially for you as a woman. This gland at the front of your throat, excuse me, releases hormones to tell your body to speed up your metabolism. And of course, the more thyroid hormone there is, the faster things will work and the more calories you'll burn, right? So having a healthy functioning thyroid is really essential for your overall sense and feeling of, feeling like you are burning the calories effectively and efficiently in your body. But that's not the only thing that affects your metabolic rate. How big you are counts too. Larger people have higher metabolic rates, but your body composition is really crucial. As you can imagine, muscles that actively move and do work need more energy than fat does. So the more lean muscle mass you have, the more energy your body will burn and the higher your metabolic rate will be, even when you're not working out. And this is important because I think a lot of us are underestimating the importance of building muscle. And I think a lot of women are also afraid of going to the gym and lifting weights and stuff like that because they're afraid of looking like men. But I know from myself, I've been that woman who was like, I don't want to have masculine body. And the truth is that you won't look like a man because you are not a man. You don't have enough testosterone in your body to look like a man, unless if you do see bodybuilders and people like that, you can assume for sure that they are taking steroids because this is unnatural. So I think this is important to understand that in order to have a metabolic rate that is working efficiently, and also your thyroid gland, we need to be having that kind of mindset that exercise and moving our body constantly is important. And the reason it is important is because when they lose weight, their metabolic rate often slows down, which you don't want to happen, right? Because if it happens, then it's almost like a never-ending cycle. If your metabolic rate drops down, then your body will accumulate and store more fat, which is which is how you find a lot of women who start a weight loss program, but they don't incorporate exercise into their regimen. And that's how, it's really difficult to keep the weight off. So you definitely want to offset that with more muscle mass. Aerobic exercise also temporarily increases your metabolic rate, and your muscles are burning fuel to move, so they're doing, work. In air quotes, and that work it's almost like, your body is using the energy that it's putting on through the food. The type of food that you eat, it also affects your metabolic rate. Your body actually burns calories to absorb, digest, and metabolize your food. And this is called the thermic effect of food, or TEF. You can use it to your advantage when you understand how your body metabolizes food differently. So fats, for example, increase your TEF by about 0 to 3%. Carbohydrates increase it by about 5 to 10%, and protein increases it by 15 to 30%. So by trading some of your fat or carbohydrates for lean protein, you can slightly increase your metabolic rate. And this is something that I suggest to my mamas, to my women that I work with all the time. Carbohydrates are great, but it's really, when you're a woman, when you're a female, it is not enough to eat well. We really have to be eating right. Because when we eat right, when we eat the kind of foods that support our very intricate and gentle and delicate hormonal and nervous systems and the other systems, of course, of the body, that's when we're actually really taking care of ourselves and nourishing ourselves from the inside out. Another bonus of protein is that your muscles, they need it to grow. So by working them out and feeding them what they need, they will help you to lose the weight and keep it off. And don't forget the mind-body connection, of course. I mean, this podcast is so about the mind-body connection. There is plenty of research that shows the influence that things like stress and sleep have on the metabolic rate, especially for us moms who are, we're busy, we have so many things going on, our plates are full with, with our families and the kids and the household and the work and career and our marriages, and so many things are happening all at once during this time of our life. And so I think so many of us, as a result of that increased stress, are having a lower metabolic rate. And I think the moment you are kind of like putting one and one together, you're understanding that how all of this is connected. And this is just really the tip of the iceberg when it comes to metabolism and how so many different things can work to increase or decrease your metabolic rate. So I guess your takeaway from today's episode would be to really be mindful about the type of exercise that you're choosing to do. I mean, in my own practice, I've been struggling with this for years and years and years, because I mean, I love yoga. I've been doing yoga for 3 years now, and I've been really consistent with it because I love it. Whatever you love, you will stick to, right? But then I started feeling like I'm craving more movement and more kind of like a fast-paced type of exercise. And when I started doing that, I felt very rapidly, my clothing sizes change, and even like how I look at myself in the mirror and just how I feel in terms of energy. So I think the takeaway that I want you to take from today's episode is really to pay attention to the type of exercise that you're choosing to do. I think the ideal for me personally would be almost like a combination of the two worlds. So I actually have a membership to my amazing yoga studio that I love so much. But I also just started a membership at a I don't know if you guys are familiar, but we have Orange Theory here. It's basically like a boot camp type of workout, which is so high intensity, but I love it. It's the music and the rhythm and the the fact that we are in a group and we're doing it all together. It's really it's fun, and it's also doing wonders to my body. And so I think that would be a great combination, especially when you are not only exercising, but also are starting to pay attention to the food that you eat, and starting to be mindful about your menstrual cycle and the hormones and how all of that is working together. Then you really can learn how to feel better, have more energy, and not just have more energy, but actually a sustainable amount of energy that you can almost like predict throughout your entire cycle. So that is what I have for you today. I wanted to remind everybody that you are welcome to hop on a diva date with me. I spoke about this in the previous episodes. And what the diva date is basically just a conversation between you and me. I created these conversations with women as just because I want to hold space. I want to hold space for you. I want to allow you to be heard. I created this because I think one of the biggest reasons I created it's because this is what I needed the most when I felt like I am completely out of alignment in my life, and I am just craving connection with women who are like-minded, who would just get me without me needing to explain and give like a huge introduction to why I'm feeling a certain way or why I want to talk about certain topics. And so that is what I created, because I know that it's needed. I know that so many women are craving that connection. And so I would love to hop on a call with you. So if you want to register and book yourself for that, just go to my website. So it's www.healthbeginswithmom.com/diva. And then if you scroll down, there's going to be multiple spaces where you can book the call with me. And I would love to meet with you and connect with you and all of that. Other than that, I would love for you to join my Facebook group. So it's called Busy Moms Get Healthy. So just look it up on Facebook. You're always welcome to hop on there and join the conversation and reach out to me and have a direct contact to me or other like-minded women who are just really learning how to be, how to thrive, how to just take care of ourselves as women so that we can take care of our families, of our kids, of our daughters, and really to live the life that we all crave and deserve to have. If you have any questions, as always, you're welcome to email me. So you can email me at dorit@healthbeginswithmom.com. And the last thing I'm gonna leave you with is I'm super excited, but I am almost like 90% done with the Health Begins with Mom Mastery Program. I'm gonna share more about that in later episodes, but this is coming up. So if this is something that you are kind of like curious about, then I would love for you to book the Diva date with me, and then we can talk further about that. This is going to be a transformative immersion kind of program. It's going to be a 9-month program that we're going to do together. It is going to be a group coaching program where you will meet other moms, other women who are on the same path, have the same goals, and we're going to do it all together. I'm also going to be there. I'm going to be holding your hand, leading you and guiding you through this process of understanding your human design as a woman, healing, these childhood wounds that we all have. You've heard me talk many times about healing the mother wound, so healing your relationship, your painful relationship with your own mothers or nurturers, or lack thereof, and then really leading your daughters or your daughter or your daughters into a new kind of relationship, into something that I guess I think if I could sum it up, it would be just really becoming the mother that you wish you had. So I would love to connect with you. I would love to talk to you more about this process, about this program. So if this is something that is interesting to you, again, you can just book the Diva date with me, and we'll obviously we're going to talk about you and about your health and about your goals. And then at the end, if you want, I can share more about the program. I am going to officially launch the program to the public sometime in September. So this is exciting. I've really put my heart and soul into this program. I think it is so amazing. It is so transformative. It is like taking you and shaking you to the core and just really mothering and nurturing you and pouring so much love over you, and more than that, it's really giving you the tools that you need to thrive as a woman, as a wife, and as a mother. All right, guys, I hope today's episode was helpful. Let me know if there are any other topics you'd like me to talk about. You can always post them in my Facebook group, or you can send me an email. So again, dorit@healthbeginswithmom.com, and just let me know, what are your questions? What would you like to learn more about? I'm always happy to create more content for you that is actually going to be of service to you. So I guess I'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Health Begins with Mom show. I love hearing from you, so please post your comments and questions over at healthbeginswithmom.com/podcast. If you love the show, please share it on social media and in your real life with other moms who might enjoy this content. And if you have a burning question or topic you'd like me to hit on the show, just drop me a line at dorit@healthbeginswithmom.com. And if you love this show and really want to support it, please go to iTunes, write a review, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Much love and many blessings.